I actually know Sofia Vergara.
What? Could you get her on this podcast?
Qdoba's not cutting it for you?
Because language is not language by itself. Language is culture. I wouldn't be here without the support and sponsorship of Topeka Public Schools.
This podcast was brought to you by Choose Topeka. If you're thinking about making a move, Choose Topeka can get you up to $15,000 to relocate.
Whether you're buying or renting, Topeka and Shawnee County are ready to welcome you. Apply now at choosetopeka.com. Okay, welcome to Topeka Insider. Today we have with us Dr. Pilar Mejía de Colombia, the General Director of Cultural Innovation at Topeka Public Schools USD 501.
Yes,
Nailed
you
it.
did it.
Let's
Good
go.
job.
That was
Welcome
our
to
third
the studio.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
it's
glad to
already
have
been
you.
fun.
Yeah.
Hey, well, thanks for being here. Do you want to tell us a little bit about you, your background, how'd you get to the States, and a little bit about you?
Sure. I was, as established, born and raised in Colombia, in Cali. Colombia, that's the third largest city. It's about almost 3 million people. It's a big hustle bustle city full of, beautiful landscape and green and happy people and joyful people. It's also the capital of salsa, not the chips and salsa, but the dance salsa.
Yeah.
And so music is a huge part of our culture, food and whatnot.
We should give Justin a salsa lesson as part of this episode.
We should not.
Okay.
We'll be here way too long.
I'm down. I came to the States almost 27 years ago.
Yeah.
January 9th of next year, it'll be 27. Geez.
That's awesome.
And I, after being in College Station, Texas for 2 years, I moved to Topeka, and my goal was to pursue a job in my previous life career, which was fashion design. I got a master's in Italy for product management in fashion. And
so naturally, Topeka was the first place you wanted to come to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, Milan, Topeka.
Exactly.
Straight shot.
Instant connection.
Yes. So Payless was here, and, it's a long story short, that was not going to work. I, as a foreign person, needed a sponsorship, and Payless at the time was not sponsoring internationals, specifically for work visas. And so I had to pivot and decide what I was going to do with my life now that was not going to pan out, and decided to go back to school for education. I had taught foreign languages in Cali, so I liked teaching and I felt successful. I was successful at it. So I'm like, well, let me see about making this a formal career. Went back to school at Washburn and then got my master's at KU and then did my doctorate at K-State.
You got the full Kansas experience.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite?
Kansas.
Do you have a favorite?
My favorite experience, I don't have a favorite school.
All right.
I'm sorry, you guys, but
He's trying to get a hot take out of you.
I'm going to ask you what you gravitate towards, but Washburn was all perfect for the time in my life.
Yeah.
Being
That's
a non-traditional student at Washburn was amazing. It was a small school. It was personalized. It was great. And then being a full-time teacher at KU, it all started with a cohort for teachers or staff in Topeka Public Schools. Anyway, it was perfect then. And then fast forward a few years through the Leadership Academy that Topeka Public Schools and K-State still have a partnership with. Because I had a master's, had the opportunity to continue my doctorate. And so that was K-State. So that was amazing, with the Topeka Public Schools part with K-State. And then on my own, I had an amazing chair. I mean, it's one of the smartest women, best teachers, holding your hand while pushing you super hard, being there. So it was all great for the period of in my life that I was in.
It's cool.
So
You are a highly educated individual. How many years were you in post?
too many. It started, I mean, granted, there were little breaks, but it started in 2005, and I graduated with my doctorate in 2017.
Wow.
So it was a minute. And I always, like, you know, when I was done with my master's, I'm like, I don't want to learn anything else in my life. I'm done. Actually, with my endorsement, then no, but the master's, I'm like, okay, the opportunity was there. How do you not? Okay, fine. And I'm like, not. And then the academy, and people are like, well, do it. And I'm like, I don't want to be a principal.
Yeah.
But here it is. Apply. Just apply. Okay, fine. And then, hey, but that can take you to a doctorate. I'm like, nope. That's it.
Right.
I'm not. And here I am. So
here we are.
So you said your was your educational because you were studying education.
Yes.
Was that around specifically teaching languages?
No.
What kind of education was?
So my bachelor's was just a bachelor's in education.
Just general. Okay.
General.
Yeah.
And elementary. So I, you know, at the time the license was K9.
Yep.
So general education. And then I started getting more into the thread that has continued in my life, motivated, I guess, by my DNA, which I got an endorsement for, and TESOL, which is Teaching English to Students of Other Languages. So I got my ESOL endorsement so that I could actually be a teacher of students whose native language is not English. So I did that. And while doing that, you know, after that, that turned into a master's. So it was twofer type thing.
Yeah.
But if you look at my career since I started in Topeka Public Schools, which, by the way, was the only school district in the Topeka area that was sponsoring internationals at the time, there has always been a thread of me being part of committees that have to do with, with this population, or, I had a lot of students in my class that were of Spanish-speaking homes or Spanish-speaking themselves. And then I did teach English learners in the middle school. Then I became a coach of English learners, teachers. So it wasn't like a specific, I'm going to go do as a foreign language or as a language thing, but more supporting the people, the culture, in a broader scale, I suppose.
Yeah. How many languages do you speak?
I speak 3. So Spanish is my native, English, I speak Italian, I dabble in French, I dabble in Portuguese, but don't
ask you questions in Italian or Portuguese, no problem.
You can switch to Italian, but and I could possibly do the Portuguese. The French, I dabble. I love it. It's like the one that I wish I could just blah, blah, blah. But
well, it's a bummer because I'm fluent in French, so I guess we can't use that.
Hey, we can. Yeah. Go for it. I'll do my best.
I'm kidding. No, I don't.
Maybe I don't know.
No, we are. We're currently teaching our kids Spanish, and so
that's awesome.
It's so basic right now, though. So I'm still. They still haven't caught up to my basic level yet, so I haven't dived in with them yet. But
I tell people my extent of Spanish is, I like to think if I was plopped down in Mexico somewhere, I would survive. I could get myself out.
That's how I am with French. I totally can. When I go to France to visit or whatever, I stay in French as much as I can.
Yep.
And so, but now let's not have a conversation about
no problem.
Whatever.
This one.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you, what do you love about language? What are some of your favorite things about? Surely, learning different languages has shown you something about how language works, and
yes.
I'm curious. Just what has come out of that for you?
I think that I had no choice. Well, no, I did have a choice. But my dad, he spoke French, he spoke English, he dabbled in Portuguese, and he loved languages. And so foreign language was something that was always around. He would throw little sayings at us, or he would, it was always there. And I guess I have one sister, I'm the youngest of two. We both kind of loved the sound, trying to say the things, learning more. We were in a bilingual school from the age of 3
Cool.
through 12th grade.
Wow.
Well, in 3, we did a year in Madrid, but it was all immersion in English.
Wow.
So that's a gift that they gave us.
Yeah.
And then with my dad, my mom also was a year in Canada, so a little French. Just, I don't know, it was part of my daily life. That language was around, that was in Spanish, plus very high expectations of our use of Spanish at home. So if we pronounced things wrong or conjugated wrong, there was always that, hey, it's this way or that way.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a curse. Because now I'm like,
right.
I notice everything.
But there is a high expectation that you were learning languages, not just your native language, but languages.
Right.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Yep.
We talked about this a little bit before we started rolling, but and I'm going to expose myself here as the uncultured white guy I am. You said there's different types of Spanish,
Yes.
Colombian, Mexican. What is that?
You
What is
name
that?
it.
What does that mean?
I mean, if you sit a Mexican, a Colombian, a Venezuelan, an Argentinian, Salvadorian, whatever, an Ecuadorian, we all sound different, very different, and we all say things. I mean, we all understand each other.
Sure.
Spaniard, but then there will be times when, wait, what did you call that? I don't know. I'm not. Can't think of an example, but I mean, even trash can. A Puerto Rican, just words like trash can are very different.
Right.
Words like, I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Is it Puerto Rican or Costa Ricans that don't roll their R's?
They have a hard time, so it's like Costa Rica instead of Rica.
Or like carro instead of carro.
Yeah, like carro. Yeah.
Oh, so it's kind of a ZH sort of.
I cannot do it like they do.
Yeah.
But yes.
And then
it's
don't
Costa
Spaniards,
Rica.
you have a lot of like shh.
Well,
like
so their
Espanol.
S's sound, they probably would say, no, they don't. But their accent is stronger. Their S's are more shh.
Like
and
SH,
they pronounce the Z and the C with a vowel after it as you would TH. So I say zapato for shoe. They say zapato.
Zapatos.
So it's and their G's and J's we say more h and they're more h.
Yeah.
So it's just more guttural and.
Is it so distinct that if you were sitting in a room and everyone was talking, you could tell?
Yes.
Okay, we know you're from here.
Yes.
So it's very obvious.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah. When people are like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, I say 2 more things. Where do you think? Colombia.
So what are some of the distinctions of Colombian tone and
I
Spanish
cannot
language?
imitate them because everybody, like when people try to imitate Colombian accent, which is also an overgeneralization because the coast speaks differently
Sure,
from
yeah,
center,
different regions,
etc.
yeah.
But I'm like, no, don't do that. So I feel like it's the same way if I try to sound like a Mexican or a Spaniard. They're like, no, stop.
So I had some dear friends in college from northern Mexico, and so I learned all the northern Mexican slang, que onda, and different things, and went down for Christmas a few times with them. And then we had some other friends who are from southern Mexico, and they would always make fun of each other that the northern Mexicans sound like they're singing because they always end high in their sentences. Que onda? Like they always end up. And the southern Mexicans always sound angry because they always end low, and so it's the exact so they always make fun of each other for things like that.
Yep. And like when I'm around Colombians, I'm like, oh, you're from Medellin. Oh, you're from Bucaramanga.
Okay, yeah.
You're from Cali. They can tell.
Yeah.
Like a New Yorker or somebody from Alabama.
Yeah.
You're like,
Sure.
Some
Or
Boston.
you mentioned, British versus American.
Correct.
The distinction is English, but
it's English.
you can tell immediately.
But you don't call an apartment a flat. They do.
Right.
Etc.
Right. Yeah, that's cool.
Well, switching gears maybe a little bit, you've been in Topeka for 25-ish years now.
Yes.
I mean, you're not from Topeka, but this is home.
It's home.
Tell us a little bit. What do you love about Topeka? And you're living here for 25
What
years.
kept you here? Yeah, 25 years.
What kept you here?
Well, first of all, my education, my job, because,
Sure.
right at student teaching, Topeka Public Schools was there with open arms and an open heart, and I cannot be more thankful because I wouldn't be here without the support and sponsorship of Topeka Public Schools. So I got a job. That was fantastic. And I got the job that I was hoping for, teaching, etc. And then a few years later, I met a guy. Tan, tan, tan.
That'll keep you here.
That'll keep you here.
Yes. And we eventually got married. And so he keeps me here. Our jobs keep us here. He has 2 sons. So we also were here for their critical years.
Yeah.
And then those critical years, even though, they're grown almost 24 and 21, they're still around. We're still around. But Topeka, I grew up in and have lived in cities that are very big and very, busy, congested. Like Cali,
Right.
I've lived in Bogota, the capital of Colombia. Oof. I lived in Madrid and I lived in Milan. And in College Station, Texas, and in Topeka, Kansas. So that small town feel I had never experienced, and I really like it. Everything's close.
Yeah.
You are in a small town, but with access to a bigger city like Kansas City. Things are easy. They're just manageable. You get in the car. You can estimate the time to get from point A to point B, versus in Cali, you're like, it's reasonable. In Cali, it's like, but what if the traffic, but this and that, and and it's a lot.
So maybe something closer to like LA here. Where you're like, we might be in traffic for an hour or 2 or something.
It's not that bad, but it's very congested. I mean, there are actual laws where if your license plate ends in a certain number, you cannot use your car this day of the week or these 2 days of the week. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Really?
it's real.
Wow.
The congestion is real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then what people did was they bought other cars with different numbers. So it's
You have 2. You have 2 cars.
leave it to us.
Yeah. So you got to make sure the license plates are different.
We are not walking.
Because you can select the number. Oh, it's horrible. But anyway,
That's hilarious.
So I just like the feel. And, my husband and I, we love to travel. And so living here is a good base. Cost of living is great.
Yeah.
We have our circle here. So our life is here. I did long for bigger for a while there. But then I got content and happy with, this is great. This is great for our family, our lifestyle, and we can pick up and travel. It's very well located in terms of,
Sure.
For the United States purposes.
Right,
It's really far from Cali if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because getting there, we're only 3.5 or 3, almost 4 hours from Miami. Boom. But to get to Miami is another story.
Right.
So
Are we in the same time zone?
Right now, we here are an hour behind. since
Because
the
of
time
daylight
change.
savings? Or
Yes.
Okay. But normally we're in the same?
Yes, normally it's Miami time.
Oh, okay.
Cali is always Miami time.
Okay,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So being well-traveled, being all across the world, living, what would you say are some things that Topeka's missing? What would you love to see Topeka either have, whether it's realistic or not, that you would think it would complete, maybe that desire to maybe belong for a bigger city?
We tell half the people not to drive on Tuesdays. And
Besides that, yeah. One of the things that I most long about bigger cities is that exposure to or access to languages. Because language is not language by itself. Language is culture. And so with culture comes tolerance, and diversity, represents more than just we're different. It's like, anyway, that's a kind of a philosophical thing. But in Cali, you have multiple language schools, not only K-12 schools. There's German, French,
Wow.
English, and in some of those schools, there's like, say, in my school now, not then, you learn English and you learn Mandarin, for example. So
Whoa.
you're in Spanish, in English, in Mandarin. But there are institutes, language institutes. So I would go as an extracurricular, as a fun, for me, thing, to the French Institute for, you know, how somebody takes music classes. I would take French classes
Wow.
or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I long that because I would be all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something I wish we had here. And then the access to gastronomy that is, you know, just more rich in terms of options, quality,
Did you say gastronomy?
gastronomy.
Oh, I thought you
food.
said, okay, I thought you said astronomy.
Yeah.
No.
It's like, huh.
Well, that's what I thought she said too. Then she said
Yeah.
gastronomy. Gastronomy. I'm like, I don't know what that is either. But okay, food.
Food.
I know that.
I miss that
Yeah.
a lot because that's something that everybody can access. The languages is an interest thing, but
Sure.
food, everybody likes food.
Right.
So having more diversity.
What kind of food would you like to see more
well,
of?
Colombian for one.
I was just getting ready to
You're
ask.
going to ask me what that is.
Is there a Colombian? Is there a place you can get Colombian food in
No.
Topeka? Where's the nearest place?
Houston, Dallas, not in Kansas.
Yeah.
Dang.
I don't even know if in Nebraska, I don't know, in
Sure.
Texas, but far away, very
Yeah.
far away.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would love to see Colombian food here. But in general, just more. Oh man, if I think about the restaurants in Cali, for example, there's so much variety of things to eat in a variety of modalities. Like the place can be a little something, but it has a lot of character and really good food and just the ambiance. I don't know, just
Qdoba's not cutting it for you.
I do like Qdoba.
Dude.
I'm more of a Chipotle girl.
All right.
Oh, okay.
What are you, Qdoba?
There's a right answer.
I am torn. I've historically been a Chipotle person. My friends are trying to get me to switch, but I have not quite switched
Is
yet. I'm still a
that
Chipotle person.
salsa verde from Chipotle that I love it. But anyway, I love their food. I love it, but
It's not Colombian.
also it's okay. And then what else? You
Yeah.
know? So I'm not bashing what's here. I'm saying I would like to see more, like fewer chains, more
Yeah.
local, more authentic something.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have places that are cool, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, that's great.
This is a little bit jumping the gun on Louis. We have some rapid fire questions at the end, but I think it's great right now. Do you have a favorite restaurant, like a favorite local non-chain
Right here?
place?
Oh, non-chain?
Or like what are some of the
My
more
husband's
local restaurants
obsessed
here?
with Buffalo Wild Wings.
Okay.
Like obsessed. So we do go there a lot. We like Top Tim Thai. That is
Let's
go.
That's
Yeah.
not a chain.
Right.
I hope it hasn't become a chain.
I don't
but
think so.
Whatever,
No.
it's here.
Yeah, no, we love that place.
Yes. I mean, there are good things at Chili's. I don't know.
Okay, I have
It has gotten a lot better.
I have a non-food question
Okay.
that goes back to languages.
Yes.
In your professional opinion, 'cause
Yes.
I'd say you're a professional language person. Duolingo. What do we feel about that app?
Hey, quick heads up. If you have been thinking about relocating, the city of Topeka might just pay you to move. Seriously.
You could get up to $15,000 to live and work in Shawnee County. Check it out at choosetopeka.com. Now, back to the show.
It's better than nothing.
Okay. That's high praise.
That's a good exposure
Okay.
to at least hear how things sound.
Okay.
You learn vocabulary.
Yeah.
But I mean, in order to learn a language, immersion is huge. But I do really appreciate people who use Duolingo and try and want to, get out of their comfort zone or because it shows, I see you, I value you, I can, maybe in some level now relate a little bit better to you.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that opens a person's mind, I appreciate. Yeah. And so Duolingo is cool.
Yeah. I'm following. It's a great, get them into that. Yes. It's maybe not if you're wanting to become fluent or, really dive in deep. It's not the tool, but it's a good entry.
Yes, absolutely. Like I said, anything that will help somebody, get a little bit broader in knowledge, information, or because then it's exciting. Ooh, I've heard that word before.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's how that sounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Or let me try to roll these R's that are hard.
Do you have an opinion? So if someone wanted to learn a language, but they're not college age, so they're not maybe going to go to university, they're not in K through 12, what options would you suggest?
What are they doing? They're grown-ups or
just
what?
Grown-ups wanting to learn. So let's say, hey, I just want to learn Spanish or French or something else. I'm not, I'm just an adult living my life in Topeka. What would you recommend?
Rosetta Stone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is similar in the methodology as Duolingo. It just is more, I think it's just more rigorous a little bit.
Yeah.
It does take you through the steps. It is also the 4 domains. You listen, you speak, you write, you read, or the understanding, but it's a little bit more robust.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
My kids.
But it's all about what you put in, you get out.
Yeah.
And it takes dedication and time, which kids, throw them in a thing. They're going to learn it because
it's amazing.
Right? For us, adults, even though it's easier to learn because we have the mental capacity, the experiences, the background, all the things, but we don't have the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's the challenging part.
Do you think why is it people always say it's easier for children? Is it simply time, or is there like a brain plasticity thing to it too, or?
The brain, there's plasticity. There's also plasticity in the mouth and the palate and whatever to be able to replicate sounds better, because then you start getting more stiff with age.
Right.
And so that
you're used to making the same sounds. Sure.
Right. That
French fries, hamburger.
Correct. That becomes harder as adults, but understanding a language and actually learning a language is easier. However, kids just learn it almost by osmosis. If they're think about an English learner. They're in the culture. It's everywhere.
Right.
That immersion is there. So they're going to learn it, period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? For us, it's not so easy.
Yeah.
I've heard the easiest way to go learn a language is go live there for 3 months. Just go live there, and you're just around it. You're going to pick things up so much faster.
I still have, I lived in Milan a long time ago.
We don't need to say when.
A long time ago. And I still listen to books in Italian. I have my personal Gmail in Italian.
Really?
Because if you don't use it, you lose it.
Right.
It's not a cliche. It's a reality.
Yeah, it's so true. My wife is teaching my kids Spanish, and I forget the curriculum they're using, but part of it is they're watching cartoons in Spanish. They're listening to Daddy Yankee and different, just Spanish, pop songs.
Oh, you picked a hard one because Puerto Rico and but I love it. I love that.
I don't think Daddy Yankee's the only one, but there is not. He's not the only one, but there's a handful, and she's teaching him salsa as part of it. It's hey, not just the words, but
the culture.
Every layer.
I love it.
To be immersed in it, and So my oldest, who's 7, is super outgoing, which I'm fairly outgoing, but I also you're at the grocery store, you're just doing your thing, checking the list off.
You have a podcast, man. You're pretty outgoing.
But you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you're just hey, I'm trying to get the things from the store. I'm trying to go home. Well, my son will hear a family down the aisle Dad, they're speaking Spanish. We should go talk to them. And I was like, at this point, you might know more Spanish than me, so I don't know what I would even be doing, And so he's let's go talk. I was like, okay, all right, let's go talk to him,
Oh, good
and he's
for him.
practicing. And I'm hey, this is great. This is awesome.
Well, he is already way ahead of the curve in terms of going back to, for example, our families, that acceptance, that value of you're different, but you're different in a way that also helps me, and it's a symbiotic reciprocal relationship there, where I have things that help you enrich your life, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And so when he hears Spanish, he doesn't hear, oh,
sure,
yeah,
sure, yeah,
danger, different,
sure,
who knows, he hears, ooh, cool,
yeah,
I want to relate, I want what you have, and you also, I have things that you also want, so community, let's commune.
That's
awesome.
Super cool. I just saw something the other day that some of these famous content creators, Mr. Beast, Alex Hormozy, some of these massive names in the content creator space that maybe you're familiar with or maybe you're not, but on YouTube.
I'm 95 years old. I don't know.
What's funny, and you'll appreciate this, they have massive followings in English because they're from America, but they realize there's a ton of untapped potential for views and monetization if they just not transcribe. If they have it translate. There it is. Yeah, translate it to Spanish and upload the same content. And so I think Mr. Beast said he is over 50% of his monetization and views come from his Spanish dubbed content.
Wow,
which is crazy. You don't even think about that when you're so hubbed in America. You think it's just us, and we're big bad Americans, and we're the majority of people in the world. It's like, no. Not even close.
Well, I grew up watching, well, you guys are younger than me, but whatever, the shows that I grew up watching, my husband and I are from the same year, born the same year. And it's insane to talk about the movies, the music, the TV shows that we were watching at the same time. He was watching them in English. They were dubbed in Spanish.
Oh, really?
Yep. We both grew up watching, I don't know, Different Strokes or whatever,
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox.
Back to the Future?
Well, that too, but that's the movie.
Oh, what was the show that he was in?
Yeah.
I forget what it was.
Oh, I loved it. But anyway, those shows, and the music, sometimes he's like, wait, you know this song? I'm like, yeah, you don't know. And it's an American song, 80s and whatnot. But yeah. So there you go.
Yep.
The language barrier can be, worked out
bridged.
Bridged.
So are there movies that you grew up watching dubbed in Spanish that now you're watching in English later?
Actually, interestingly, the movies were in English with subtitles.
Oh, okay. So
for the very young ones, and because I could understand them because I was in school learning English. But the very young ones, they were dubbed because kids are not ready to read from the screen. But then it was subtitles. And then in Italy, I learned when I was there that they would dub everything into Italian. No matter what the age group, the audience, the target audience, it was dubbed in Italian. So I watched the Titanic in Italian.
That's awesome.
Yep. Aging myself there, but
I remember seeing that on an airplane when I was like 14 or whatever when it came out. Was it like 2000? I think is when it came out.
Titanic?
2002, 2003. It wasn't
no idea.
Much longer than that, right?
96.
No way. No, it wasn't that long ago. I will guess 2004. 2004.
I'm gonna stay out of this one. 96.
Titanic?
I'm gonna guess 2004.
97.
I think it's after 2000. I could be wrong.
1997.
No.
Well, I can tell. I know when I was in Milan and when
the look on her face when you said 2004. She goes, "This guy's
on an airplane when I saw it. I don't think I. Yeah, it was
it was a classic.
Maybe it was a classic then. Maybe, yeah. Dang, you got me then. Yeah.
That's funny.
So,
that's
like,
wild.
if you think about the experience that our students in Topeka Public Schools are having by having teachers from all these different backgrounds is amazing.
Cool.
Because they bring, yes, they are teaching the curriculum from here and whatnot, but the flair of their culture is there no matter what. Like, I know that I'm a very proud Colombian, and when I had my kids, I was teaching the gen ed curriculum. But guess what? Colombia was in everything. I don't know. I just made connections and whatever, or shared an experience that I lived or whatnot. So it just goes pew, a little bit wider.
Here's a random
cool.
question for you. Have you seen the show Modern Family?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about, with Gloria.
I actually know Sofia Vergara.
What? You do?
Because, I mean, before she became Sofia Vergara.
Could you get her on this podcast?
Before she became famous. No, what?
Could you get her on this podcast?
I don't think Sofia would be like, oh, yeah, I remember Billy from
From 2004?
90. No, from 91.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because she was friends with friends of mine from Barranquilla, where she's from. And anyway, I met this gal, and she was famous because of a Pepsi commercial. And then, I mean, Sofia, come on.
That's so funny.
That's
Look
wild.
at that.
Sofia. So Modern Family.
Yeah.
What
Well,
about
I
it?
just think she's Colombian. That's hilarious. And then the whole show, they're trying to get Lily, the daughter, to come to terms with her Vietnam culture and where she's from. And it's just, that show's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, you watch it. It's so funny.
I have seen some episodes. Yeah.
My main takeaway from that story was that some people call you Pili.
Yes.
Is that your nickname?
Well, so my full name is Maria del Pilar. Maria del Pilar. And no, there's no middle name. It's the name.
Yeah.
Maria del Pilar is your whole first name.
Yes.
So that is
Wow.
wrong.
No, because I go by Pilar.
Okay. You can be honest with me. If that's wrong, that's wrong.
It's not wrong, because I would tell you, trust me, I have a thing with my name. Let me choose my name. So yeah, in legal documents, it says name, first last name, second last name.
Yeah.
So it can be Juan Carlos, Pedro Alejandro, whatever. I don't know, Maria Claudia, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's the name.
Yeah.
Even if it's a compound name. And then first last name, second last name. My full name, Maria del Pilar Mejía Vélez. And the Pilars, typically the nickname is Pili.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Pilar is a very Spanish name. It's a very Catholic name because Maria Mary of the Pillar, literally, Zaragoza, Spain. Mary manifested herself on a pillar. So it's all that.
Wow.
Yes, yeah.
Is it like, I think in Mexico, people will take like their mother's last name as a first last name and then their father's last name as a second last name?
The
Or
opposite.
It's the opposite.
Yeah, so Mejía is my dad, Vélez is my mom.
Oh, okay,
and
yeah.
typically through the Hispanic culture, it's that way.
Okay.
First last name is dad's.
So in
second
most
last name-
Latin American countries, it's like that.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Wow, that's sweet. So maybe can we jump into your role a little bit with the school?
Please.
So
yes, sure.
Yeah.
you basically, off camera, you're explaining your role. Tell me if this is correct. So you're basically overseeing a lot of the international students that are a part of the public school system here in Topeka, K through 12, and trying to make sure, hey, do you have everything you need to succeed in school? Is that more or less kind of your role?
There are parts to that. It's not all the international students, because many of the international students or students whose home languages are not English might not qualify for services. So if they don't qualify for services, let's just say they become general ed students, general education students.
Like they're just with everyone.
They are, yes, they don't receive special services because they don't qualify for them. I mean, they might be in special education. They might be in special education, this end or gifted or whatnot, but not in my departments per se.
Not in languages specifically.
However, those students might take world languages. And we right now offer Spanish, German, and French, and ASL. So those students might take world languages. Then they are part of my department, one of the things I oversee. Then there are other students who are native English speakers, just, your traditional native English speaker.
Yeah.
They are in dual language. So they're learning English and Spanish content through English and Spanish, but not as a foreign language like world languages. Those students can also be in world languages.
Wait. So so they're taking like non-language classes in another language. Is that what you're saying? Like the dual language thing?
So the dual language thing, they take, for example, at the elementary level, they take, and the school is Scott, dual language magnet, off of 6th in California, 5th in California. So they take math and language arts. Well, you guys would take math and English language arts if you are a preschooler, a kindergartner, or a first grader. I would take math and English, SLA, Spanish language arts, and then we all would take science and social studies in Spanish. So we all learn content through language.
Cool.
The content is shared on what we call the language of instruction. So the language of instruction for math is always English. For science, it's always Spanish. For social studies, it's always Spanish in elementary. And then depending on the grade level, well, second and up, we both have English language arts and Spanish language arts.
So that school, the whole school is like that?
Correct.
Where like different classes are different languages?
Correct.
Wow, that's cool.
Yes,
So
it's
like
amazing.
you could send your kid there
Your
too.
kid there too.
Right. To learn both in these different subjects and stuff. That's
Yep.
awesome. Well,
So
that's really
you
cool.
are learning the content, or you're learning the language through the content.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Versus
Just
a foreign
learning,
language,
right.
which is, I tell you that this is un micrófono, es una mesa, la planta, etc.
Fake planta.
Planta de mentiras, planta artificial. So in the world languages, though, you're learning the language as a foreign language.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you don't necessarily learn about the water cycle or the branches of government in those in whatever language, say Spanish, in those classes. You learn the language, so the structures and the units might be greetings or culture and foods and parts of the body, clothing items. So it's
awesome.
different.
Super
How
cool.
many do you know, like what are the different demographics like of different language families in Topeka? Like what, how many Ukrainian refugees are there? How many Spanish speaking people are there that live in Topeka? Like what are the different
I'll
groups?
tell you what the demographic breakup of the district is. Just about 33 Black, white, and Hispanic.
Okay.
And then there are, because, the Ukrainians identify as white.
Sure.
There's a sliver of multiracial, which that's growing. The Black population is decreasing. The Hispanic population is increasing. Then there's the Pacific Islanders. Those are also a sliver. But in general, the big three ethnic groups or racial, because anyway.
What about like international? Like, do we know like how many students are from different countries and think, like you said, there's Ukrainian refugee population here, and I didn't realize we had a significant Ukrainian refugee population.
I don't. I have to get back to you on that. I don't know exactly what the international population of students is, because we've been trying also to identify the total, like the international teachers who is not from here,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Aside from the ones that we recently brought or that we know are, but there are other teachers who may be U.S. citizens or may be permanent residents that have been here for a while, and we just know they are teachers. They are great teachers. But we don't necessarily know that they're from Jamaica.
Sure.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? And so that might add to the student population, because the kids might have been born abroad, but here, but we don't. I don't know if that explains.
Yeah.
But I don't know an
Sure,
answer,
yeah.
and I probably should.
No,
come up
you're
with an
fine. Yeah,
answer.
I was curious because, like you had mentioned, we have a large Ukrainian refugee population.
Right.
I didn't know that.
really cool.
But you did mention you said there's something like 46 languages.
Like 65 languages
65.
represented.
Wow.
So once again, I don't know if those students would identify themselves as international because
Sure.
they might have been born here,
Sure.
but their
Yeah.
parents are
Yeah.
from China or from India or
Right.
from you name it. They
Yeah.
could
Yeah, I
be from
guess
anywhere.
I don't know the best way to ask the question, but yeah, basically like maybe that's just the best way is what languages are represented,
Mm-hmm.
which is maybe like, is that from that survey, like what the language that's being spoken at home? Is that
Correct.
what that's from?
That's where it's.
So there are 65 languages that are being
But then
spoken
the
in students' homes.
nationalities, right? The nationalities could be more.
Sure.
Because think about it, Spanish is
Right.
one language, but
A lot of-
spoken in
yeah.
how many
Right.
countries?
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah. I guess that's what I was curious about. I was just curious to see, like, man, what is the kind of global representation in Topeka?
well,
You know?
we are definitely the most diverse district, and we pride ourselves in our diversity. We value it tremendously. We promote it. We celebrate it. So. I mean, sorry, I don't have a number.
No, it's
but
okay. I was just
can
curious.
tell you-
65 is really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know
So-
if I can name 65 languages.
Yeah. I don't know if
Same.
I could. Yeah.
I
So you
don't
said
know.
most diverse for Topeka or like in Kansas or?
in the Topeka school districts.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's wild. So what are some of the biggest challenges with your role? And then what are some of the things you're most excited about with your role?
One of the biggest challenges is staffing, but it's not just for my departments. Teacher shortages are a nationwide
Sure.
struggle right now. And so finding teachers that are, highly qualified, i.e. they have teaching degrees for whatever they're teaching, that makes them highly qualified. And then, for example, for my English learners that have that ESOL endorsement, English to students of other languages, that endorsement is necessary for them to teach these students. So there's a
Right.
shortage there. In dual language, the bilingual teachers we don't just want Spanish speaking because the professional development and all the system is in English. So you
Right.
want to make sure you have teachers who can navigate the system comfortably enough to know what's going on, but teaching in Spanish specifically.
If you're a Spanish or a dual bilingual teacher, is there some sort of like incentive to do that? Do you get some sort of pay bump or?
Yes, there is an addendum that the teachers who are in dual language receive.
That's great.
Does
Yeah.
that increase if you learn a third language?
Nope.
So there's no incentive just to like keep learning
No.
7 languages.
I wish there were more money for teachers, period.
Right.
Especially for someone who knows 7.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a challenge, staffing. Most exciting is that we continue to grow, for example, in the Seal of Biliteracy, which is an award that students earn by demonstrating competency in English and at least one other language. So
Wow.
It's a Kansas thing, and every state now, as of a couple or 3 years ago, every state has a state seal by literacy that is recognized, while before not all states had it. So that's a huge
So
celebration.
it's incentivizing people to learn a second language.
Right.
Cool.
So we offer it to students who are in world languages, who, the home language survey says something other than English, or the dual language, so the pool of students who can take it is huge. And we have exponentially grown in the past. This is my 4th year-ish in this position. I'll explain. Since then, and, having that one person and that central system has, just increased the participation and also the attainment. up until 4 months ago, I was the director of culture innovation. Now I'm the general director because I didn't have the English learners department. Now I do.
Oh, okay.
But everything.
So it's more
meshes
broad
together.
now,
Correct.
is what you're saying. Cool.
How often, and I'll out my school. So I went to Shawnee Heights, took Spanish for 2-3 years there. Clearly, none of it stuck. But I had this buddy of mine who.
It's like learning piano.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids, it never sticks.
It didn't stick. But I had this buddy of mine who was fluent. I played soccer with him, and he was taking Spanish with us in the class, and it was just comical.
As a fluent
speaker, and it was just comical. The teacher would be teaching something, and he'd kind of look at me and
You'd
go,
be like, that's wrong.
"That's not right." He goes, "This is what you want to do." And then anytime he'd help me with homework, the teacher would be like, "Clearly, we did not learn this in class."
Yeah, you should not know this.
Because I don't know this.
Yes, exactly.
That's like a Parks and Rec show.
It literally
Just
was. It's like, hey,
Looks at the camera.
Right?
Yes.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So I guess that's funny, but does that happen often? Do you have fluent Spanish speakers who take classes, or is it like, what's the point?
That's
For, like,
I
the
would
credit?
say a waste of time.
Yeah,
Right,
no doubt.
right.
Those kids, actually, we now have a system where the 8th graders who want to be in world languages, Spanish specifically, in high school, we give them an assessment so that we can place them correctly in
Yeah.
the level. So they're not enrolled in Spanish 1 and they're, oh my gosh, and they're
Right,
maybe a Spanish 2, 3, or heritage speaker.
Right.
They're bored to death and they are missing out on the opportunity to move, like get that elective done at the right, level and move on or continue to
Yeah.
the next level. So you're
Yeah.
saving time. Like
I'm trying to remember what the reason was. I think it was you had to take 2 years in order to be eligible for like an honors program. And this kid's like, I want the honors program, so I got to take these electives. And I don't remember the details. It was a long time ago.
I was going to
but
ask you why. Did he just want an easy A?
Yeah,
I don't
probably.
remember what it was. It was something about he needed the electives.
Yeah.
And he needed some world language to do it. And he's like, why would I go and try and learn German?
I
like, I
imagine
know
it'd be
Spanish.
like a native English speaker
Right.
starting with like kindergarten English, like in high school or something.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's the analogy.
Yeah.
In Topeka Public Schools, we require 1 year in high school
Okay.
of a foreign language.
Yeah.
And if people are listening or watching and they are going to tell me I'm wrong, I'll take it, but I believe it's 1 year,
it's great.
for...
Well, you were
only
right
have-
about the Titanic, so I trust you on this
And
one.
we only have 10
Yeah.
listeners that listen to the show. So,
Yeah.
you'll be good.
What are some of the biggest challenges for the students that your role kind of represents? What are some of the biggest challenges those students face?
There's always that big question of language versus disability. So, some might think that because a student doesn't speak English, then they don't have the intellectual capacity or smarts
Okay.
to perform well. Well, we have to weed that out
Yep.
and establish whether it's really a language issue or a disability issue. If you prove that, if I tested a kid in Spanish and whatever they're trying to do and they got it, it's not a disability.
Sure.
It's a
Right.
language. So how can we support that student and boost that through the strategies that are, they're good practice for any learner, but specifically for the language learners. So that's a big one. And once identified, let's say they do qualify for special education, and there's a language other than English at home, we want to focus because we always want to. Research indicates that the stronger your native language, the stronger the next language.
Huh.
Because if you think about it, if you understand the concept of, let's say, the water cycle, or the concept of verb, noun,
Right.
adjective in your own language, all you need to do is learn that vocabulary, but not the whole concept in the foreign language.
Mm-hmm.
So all I need to know is, these words that I know in Spanish for this water cycle that I already know or understand, what are the terms in English?
Right.
Versus I have no schema, I have no idea what a water cycle is, I have no idea how it works, so I have to learn it. I have to learn everything in that language.
Sure.
Like we do
Yeah.
our first language.
Yeah.
So the stronger the L1 or native language, the stronger the L2 plus, because it could be more than one.
I think what you just said about the, is it a language issue or a disability issue is so, I mean, for adults that are out of school, I think it's so interesting because I know we vacation with my family quite a bit and we'll go to Cancun. And I remember the first time going, you know, they all speak Spanish. They don't speak English. Some of them speak a little bit, and you leave that trip going, or you're there, you're asking them questions. You're like, what don't you understand? Like, why, you know, this is like, are you stupid? And then it's like, no, they just don't speak English. It's
it's very interesting that people think that way when they're in a Spanish-speaking country.
And I remember going for the second time, and my eyes were just opened. That it's like, why? And even if you're not like upset with them, but you're just thinking like, why is this so hard for them?
Right.
It's like, it's because they don't speak English.
Well,
it's not.
If I'm speaking to you in Chinese and I say it's lower and louder, you're not going to get it any better.
It's like, it has nothing to do with your intelligence.
But it doesn't mean you're
level.
stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of Americans, when, you know, they're traveling, no one actually thinks they're stupid, but internally you're just like, why is that not clicking?
But some people do.
Some people
believe that there's an intellectual discapacity there and lack and deficit when some of the kids who come from, you know, from countries and have been going to school and have been educated can school many of the kids.
Absolutely.
Who they just don't have the language.
Right.
And once we see it in the dual language program, for example. The kid who is a newcomer, no English, they are continuing to learn content in their native language and also in English. Once that transfer starts happening, they could outperform their peers because they already come with all that knowledge. They just needed the English.
Yeah. Wow.
And you see it in anything. I mean, really, the English learners, the duals, anyone.
And I think that's an important thing for kids to learn too, as especially in a very diverse school like 501, where there's all sorts of different languages being spoken. And just because someone doesn't know English, that's not an indication of their intelligence or needing to talk down.
Another thing that is not an indication of intelligence or whatnot is accent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Accent just tells you that you might have learned this thing later in life, and your plasticity in your vocal system is not as flexible as it was when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Sure.
Accent is a zero determinant of language competency.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah. Did you ever watch the show Friends? Mm-hmm. Did you ever see did you ever watch that show? Uh-huh. So there's the episode where Phoebe meets like a Russian guy and he has a translator. Have you seen, you know what I'm talking about?
I think so. I don't know.
So she goes on a date. I think he's Russian, but he has a translator. He speaks no English. She speaks no Russian. And the translator's translating for their date. And they're like falling in love and trying to be cutesy. Well, then the translator starts falling in love with Phoebe's friend and stops translating for them because he wants to talk to her friend. And they're getting very frustrated, like, hey, stop talking to my friend and translate for us so we can keep falling in love. You know, it's like, this gets really funny.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Well, do we want to move to some rapid fire?
Yes, I wanted to ask one thing really quick, if it's okay.
Go for it.
So, curious if you could just, say something to just kind of like general Topeka public, your average citizen, is maybe not in school, just kind of living their life. What would you say to try to convince people, hey, maybe you should consider learning another language, or, trying to interact with people that speak another language or from a different culture that still live in Topeka and things like that? What would you say to somebody like that?
The whole go learn a language is subjective because it's not everybody's thing. But I would say this. Open your mind and your heart to something that is not just like you, because you never know what you will discover that will make you a better person. And just by having that openness to diversity and different, when you put a face to what they might perceive as a problem, life becomes better for everyone. So that's what I would say. Open mind, open heart. the people that might represent something to others that it might not be very positive are missing out on discovering what people bring to the table, the bravery, the richness of experiences, the lessons that can be learned, reciprocally. Huh?
Good enough.
Okay. So yeah, just open up, put a face to the problem.
Sure.
Love it.
And then we can talk later.
It's awesome. I'll say, I had Mexican roommates for probably 5 years, and a lot of my dear friends were from Latin America. And two of the things that I really, really appreciated from them, learning about just their families and things, it kind of highlighted blind spots in my own, cultural upbringing and things like that. And two of them were, one, a lot of my Latin American friends, obviously not everyone's like this, but generally they were much more expressive, like joyful, expressive, my friends specifically were very into dance and music and things like that, but also tended to be much more like communal oriented. Whereas, Americans generally are very individualistic. And so, especially like going down for multiple weeks over the holidays and things, it was like, man, you have a value for your family that is not normal in America. Like, it's all about me and my dreams and my success here in America. Right. But there it's like, hey, how does this affect my family? And obviously I think there are pros and cons on both sides, but it was really helpful. It's like, hey, I think, man, I can glean something from that. And I want my family to have a closeness that, they seem to be experiencing. And the expressiveness was just really fun. So,
and it's not about changing yourself and who you are, but it's about appreciating what you see that is different. And, perhaps taking a little glimpse of that and seeing, I really like this. Now I value this.
Sure.
How does that transfer into my life now?
Sure. Yeah.
Without compromising who I am.
Yeah.
But also without expecting others to become like me. So, it's
awesome.
that symbiotic, mutual relationship.
Yeah.
So good.
All right, we got some rapid fire questions for you.
We have some rapid fire questions.
These are gonna be hard hitting.
The hardest questions we've asked all day.
Deep cut journalism right here.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right.
Getting down to the real answers.
How many potholes did you hit on your way over here today?
3.
3. That was quick.
That was quick.
I made it up.
We already asked you what your favorite restaurant is, but we'll go another angle. Ideal date night. You and your husband get a Friday night. What do you guys want to do here in Topeka?
Chill at home, cook a meal, and watch a show.
Love it.
Yeah.
Do you have a show you're into right now?
Oh my gosh, we just finished watching that. The movie Monster with Charlize Theron. No?
Yes, I never saw it, but I know what you're talking about.
Well, the actual woman, there's a show now, the queen of serial killers or whatever.
My wife and I just started that 2 nights ago on Netflix.
Well, then watch Monster.
So that's a fictionalization movie of
that story. So we watched that, and
that's wild.
We're into
no clue.
It's like a true crime documentary.
Into true crime. The Perfect Neighbor. Oh boy. And
it sounds like something I've seen, but I can't remember what it is.
It's a new recent thing. You would remember.
Yeah.
And,
maybe I haven't seen it.
And then something about Unknown Number. Have you seen that one?
I don't think so.
Anyway, we also love the 90 Day Fiancé. What is it called?
Love is Blind.
No. 90 Day Fiancé. What do you call it? The franchise. The 90 Day franchise. All the things. So anyway, we just watch true crime, or we call it Boats, based on a true story. We like boats.
Oh, boats. I like that.
You're doing a home project. Home Depot, Menards, Lowe's. What would you go to? Lowe's.
Oh, okay.
We were just there yesterday, so why not?
That's fair enough.
There you
Absolutely.
go. Yeah. We have a running feud between Menards and Home Depot, so.
I like Menards. I mean, I like them all, but not really, because I wouldn't be doing the project.
Nah, it checks out. Yeah. Do you have a favorite coffee shop in Topeka?
My house.
That's fair.
Smart.
There you go. Your Keurig?
No, we actually do Colombian coffee that we bring
Yeah.
from
What
Colombia
is-
when we come.
Oh, like you bring Colombian
We bring
beans. How do you make it?
We already have it. It's ground already.
Right.
Yeah.
We just put it in the
Okay,
coffee
yeah.
pot.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying like you had a specific like unique method or something like that.
No.
Yeah.
What else we got?
But the classic bean.
Okay. Yeah. We like the classic.
Which
bean.
one? Which one's better?
21st, yeah, 21st.
Fairlawn?
Fairlawn?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Love that
I think
place.
that
It's
one's
more
better.
cozy.
It is
has
cozy.
the couches.
It's quieter, couches, bigger. Yep.
It's dangerous though. You go in there, the lights are really dim.
Oh my
If you're
God.
not
And they
meeting
say-
somebody, you're gonna fall asleep.
Drooling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wake up an hour later, it's still the same like darkness.
Oh, it's
You're like, is it
fantastic.
in the afternoon or is it midnight?
They
What
do,
time is it
they
right
do
now?
music there too, don't they? Don't they do live music? at the
Yeah,
classic bean?
haven't hit that yet.
Sure. What else we got? We've already asked for a lot of food.
Are you ready for your salsa lesson?
No.
Do you have a favorite style of like Latin music?
No, I really love salsa merengue. I like reggaeton. I like. I know.
Love it.
I really like samba, Brazilian.
Do you go out in Topeka? Do you dance?
No, I dance down the hallways of the store. I dance just because because an alarm's going off. My husband says, "Oh my gosh, you're like a winding toy." I can't help it. So no, I used to teach Zumba, but then life got too busy.
Sure.
So, but I really like them all.
Yeah.
I like bachata. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think.
Well, Pilar, this
Yes.
was amazing. Thank you so much
for being
your
with
time.
us. This
Thank
has
you
been awesome.
for having me.
Yeah.
You guys were fun.